The billion-dollar man Seto Kaiba. Some of you guys might be saying, why would he deserve more? He's already got a shit ton of money. Well, if we went by that logic, then this video would already be over. I did a video on if Atem deserves more as well as Tristan, which I will link down below. Before I dissect Kaiba's character and give my thoughts on if he deserves more, I want everyone that's watching to keep this in the back of their head. Life consists of 4 pillars, depending on what you believe in, but just normally, there are 4 pillars to life that I think everyone should probably most likely agree on, which is health, wealth, love, and happiness. Most of us lack few, while others are almost there in obtaining the 4 pillars. Kaiba had 2 pillars completed throughout his life, the first being wealth because he owns Kaiba Corporation, and health. Just look at Kaiba's design in DSOD, we can tell he had health as well. But what about the other 2, happiness and love? Looking at Seto's character, we only saw him happy when he was younger taking care of Mokuba, but after Gorzaburu came in and altered him into that maniac he is, we really haven't seen the happy side of Seto. As for love, Seto's one of those characters that really never cared about doing sexual things or having a love in his life. Only thing I would say Seto truly loved was his parents, whom sadly both passed away, and Mokuba before Gorzaburu came in, because in the manga we see Mokuba reflect on Seto in Debt T. Atem saves Mokuba and Mokuba is actually shocked that someone would save him. Mokuba then reflects on the past and states, "You've changed that day," and talks about how he became totally obsessed with games. And looking at the younger Seto, we can see the innocence. On the same exact page in the manga, Kaiba also stated to Mokuba that until you trash these stupid feelings of brotherly love, you'll always be a loser. Now, first of all, I just want to say that's pretty dickish to say, especially to someone young. But getting back on topic, Kaiba clearly doesn't care about Mokuba as much as he used to. If you read the manga, the early volumes, Kaiba is a complete douche to Mokuba, his younger brother. It honestly seems like he doesn't think of Mokuba as a brother, and this was because of Gorzaburu's brainwashing. Of course, with Atem's help, Kaiba started to get back into his normal senses. As the love portion, it's only Seto's parents, brothers, friends, and you guys might be saying, what do you mean by friends? Well, if you examine Seto's social life, he doesn't really talk to that many people besides Yugi and Ko. So I personally think Seto thinks of Yugi and Ko as friends, or at most acquaintances. Kaiba has a tiny bit of love in his life. As for happiness, it really hasn't been there his whole life, which has been filled with sorrow and grief. So he definitely lacks these 2 pillars. What I will say is that after the mind crush, the bond with him and Mokuba really came back. So you can say he somewhat has that 1 pillar that he's lacking out of the 2, love, but I'm still going to say that he still doesn't have it, simply because you gotta love more people in the world, at least in my eyes. And getting back on topic, the sad thing is for Seto's life is that it was ruined by 1 person, and that's Gorzaburu Kaiba. He destroyed the sweet innocent orphan into some insane cold person. With Gorzaburu entering Seto's life, it destroyed Seto and created Kaiba. Why I had this long intro for this video is because after reading this analysis on Seto Kaiba a long time ago, which I will link down below, I agree with most of what this person said. After reading it, you'll figure out. The true title of this video should be, does Seto deserve more or does Kaiba deserve more? We have Seto, who I explained a lot in this video, and we have Kaiba, whom the general audience thinks is a douchebag and a prick, which is very understandable, and is just a rich billionaire that altered the motives of his adopted father into something positive. Well, let's start off with if Seto deserves more. The answer is yes, 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 and yes. If you disagree, I want to know your guys' thoughts down in the comments section below. But the reasons I listed personally make me feel like he deserves something better. But I understand without Gorzaburu that we would never have gotten the Seto that we all love, or my bad, rather the Kaiba that we all love. But also understand this, who wants that kind of life? And I'll talk about it later on in the video, but personally, what I would have loved for Seto is to have a better life, not have to go through the misery every day. Seto lost his mother around the time Mokuba was born and lost his father a few years later, which sucks, and I mean completely sucks. There's no other way to express this. But the truth and the fact is these unfortunate events connects the bridge to create Seto to Kaiba. Besides, there's one more thing I would have loved for Seto, at least to get his parents' inheritance, which also sucks. Let's move on to if Kaiba deserves more. And what I mean by that, 2 versions of Kaiba is pre-Gorzaburu, the innocent orphan, and Kaiba post-Gorzaburu when he got the last name known as Kaiba from the aftermath he received from his adopted father, which later gets suppressed due to the mind crush he received from Dead T. Even though it really didn't alter him, rather it suppressed Kaiba's inner insanity, does he deserve more? I say no, because it destroys the Atem and Kaiba rivalry. At this point in the series, Kaiba should have been fixed as a character, but it hasn't, meaning that he can't change back into his normal self, and it would really destroy the Atem and Kaiba rivalry. In addition to that, we look at DSOD, his insanity is much more shown, it's much more revealed rather than his suppressed state or his suppressed insanity during Battle City, during Duel Monsters as a whole. So when you really analyze Dark Side Dimensions along with Kaiba throughout the series after Gorzaburu, it's just he can't be fixed. I mean, when everyone, including, I'm just talking about everyone from DSOD in the main cast, when they moved on, they understood that Atem leaving, that was what he was meant for. He was meant to leave, and Kaiba just couldn't cope with that. He just couldn't deal with the fact that Atem left, so he basically went on this fiasco for 2 hours and 6 minutes as well as 6 months planning to bring back Atem. And when I talk about 2 hours and 6 minutes, of course it's much more than that. I'm just going by the movie's time. So this just proves to me that Kaiba could not be changed after Gorzaburu. So I personally feel as if Kaiba should not deserve more. Thank you very much for watching, and please comment down below who you want to see next on this video series. What character deserves more? See you guys later.